Welcome to another episode of Hashtag GK Says. Today we're working on a 2000 F350 7.3 liter. They're good motors, but they always have some kind of issues. Serious complaint was a lot of smoke and a lot of oil consumption, which I noticed, which he did not notice. Used 3 quarts just on the ride over here. So here's the thing. 7.3s have issues with either the injector oil rings and the oil crossing over into the fuel system. They do that a lot when the oil rings go bad, and that'll consume oil. Doesn't always necessarily equal smoke. Smoke is oil going through the combustion chamber. And one of the easiest ways to check some of the troubleshooting methods is looking at your air filter. Because if your air filter is clogged up, what's going to happen is since this is here to the turbo, and then you have your air cleaner box there. If this is clogged up, it's going to pull air from anywhere it can, and it'll pull it out of the breather, which is going to suck oil out of the motor. Now, here's the thing that I always notice with 7.3s is the turbo. Easiest thing to get to, just to check. Checking the turbo, you just want to grab the impeller and you want to shake it. Well, guess what? This one is very, very loose and very, very bad. Oil does go through the turbo, and I'm trying to spin it here, and it spins. Doesn't make a lot of noise or anything, but it's soaking up oil because this thing injects oil. How we doing, bro? All right, so far so good. All right, all right. What are you doing out here? So anyway, back to this. You have oil lines that feed the turbo, and it's sitting on a pedestal. That's where it's getting all its oil from. So due to the fact that we know that the turbo is already out of spec, problem-wise through here, that's where we have to start. We're going to pull this turbo off. Now, once you pull the turbo off, you want to make sure the oil return line is not clogged up, which is one thing that can happen. One of the things, if you get a new fuel filter, you want to pull this off. You want to make sure that your diesel is green and not blackened, which would indicate injector O-rings crossing over the oil to the fuel, but it doesn't seem to be that problem. I don't smell that issue. It's smoking a lot because it's going through the combustion chamber. It's getting heated by the exhaust, but as it goes farther back, everything cools off to an extent back here. Now, here's the exhaust. See this? That's oil. That's pure oil coming through there. So we already know that this thing's going to smoke even after I fix it for a little while because the whole exhaust system is contaminated with oil. You want to put a new one on? You can. Your best bet is to let it run and run it hard on the highway and don't stop. The other thing is, it's a pain. It really is. It's a pain getting these things out of here. But due to the fact that if you use a scanner like I did, you'll notice your ICP pressures, your IPR pressures, and things like that. And if it was injector O-rings, the telltale sign of that is getting the truck up to temperature, running it kind of hard, kind of hot, shutting it down. Once you shut it down, let it sit for like 5 minutes or so because the oil is thinner when it's hot. And what'll happen is it'll have a hard time starting. It'll turn over until the pump pumps enough oil in to fire the injectors. And if it takes a long time to do that, then you lean towards your injectors. This, when I looked through the scanner, I had good ICP pressure, I had good IPR duty cycle, which was really low. I haven't seen in a while. And it starts right up when it's hot, like no problem. Turn it off, starts right back up. So that leads me to believe my turbo has an issue. And sure enough, as you saw by the slack I have in that impeller system, there's a problem. So besides that and cleaning out this is from the valve cover. Excuse me. There has been pulling up some type of oil through here. Let me bring this out in the sunlight here. But you'll notice that it's dirty. See how dirty it is? It isn't just the oil. And that little duck bill right there, see how it has dirt on it, but it's not completely clean to the plastic? That means oil is not getting sucked in at a rate of where it's cleaning that plastic. And that's one of the things you need to identify. If it was coming through the breather, that whole duck bill would be absolutely clean because the oil is constantly washing the dirt away. That doesn't seem to be the case. This just seems to be an internal issue with the turbo, and that's where we're going. Hope this has helped you out with the 7.3 diesel. There's other things you have questions or whatever, hit me up, hashtag GK says, and I'll let you know how this turns out in a later video. This would be part 1. Have a good day, people. Bye-bye.